Okay, here we are at 3507 Crestline. It's kind of a gloomy day outside, but I'll show you the street view going up. And then you're almost to the end of the street. You're up at the top of the Foothills subdivision. So this house, as you'll see as we start to get closer, it's had a lot of hail damage to it. They've already replaced the roof, and now they're in the process. So they're about, well, I guess they haven't started just yet, I don't think, replacing the siding, but they do plan on doing that. The one thing that they're not going to replace is the gutters, because it looks like the insurance company probably didn't want to, because there wasn't gutters on it prior. There is on parts of the house, as you can see up here, but it doesn't even have the proper gutters coming down. They don't have the downspout extensions, anything like that. So the siding will be taken care of. Just kind of show you your front yard. It's a nice front yard. You can see the steps coming up have some gaps underneath them. They're settling a little bit, settling in the middle. So you can see lots of hail damage. So it wouldn't surprise me if, like, I mean, as you can see up here, the pieces on the side of that window, the vinyl pieces, and then the vinyl beading up on this window is cracked out. That's probably stuff that won't be replaced. Insurance probably isn't covering that. If you guys put an offer in on it, hold on, let me clean my camera. So sorry, I always seem to do this. Just gonna make sure it's really good. If you guys put an offer in on it, you can ask for those things to be done. It just seems like these owners aren't very present with the way they're letting this house show. It doesn't seem like they want to do a whole lot. Nice, pretty front door. Walking in the house, there's a lot of places in the house that don't have either center lights in the middle of the room like this. So I either can't get the lights turned on, or as you look up here, there's a light up there, but that one's burnt out. So I apologize. I'm trying to get the flash on my camera to work, but it doesn't seem to want to come on because it's too bright. So walking in, you have a hallway going to your kitchen, and then some bedrooms. To the right, you have a living room, and then up to the stairs, you have a couple bedrooms. To my left, you have a big coat closet. Now, throughout this house, they took out the trim because they planned on painting. The listing agent says that's the reason she doesn't have pictures up, is because they obviously didn't finish painting all throughout the house. In areas they started, or they put color swatches up on the wall and never finished. And so there's needs new paint. They would be willing to give a painting allowance with an acceptable offer, she said. And so with that, but I mean, there's just pretty outdated throughout. You've got outdated carpet. I don't know if they would put the trim back up, but they might give you a little bit off the price to do that yourself, but it does need trim throughout the entire house. So I'm going to start this way. Coming through this living room, and I'll turn around so you can see it does have pretty bay windows. It's a house that you would probably want to give a deep cleaning to. They did start to clean it, but just another cleaning to it, you know, prior to moving in, or you can even ask them to have it professionally cleaned. They do have some extra paint and whatnot that they have left over. I'll show you the ceiling in here. They just never finished it. It's like they left in a hurry. They tried to do some stuff, but then they had to go. Coming into your kitchen. I don't believe I have any lights. Let me try this real quick. Maybe I didn't get these. There we go. So there's that one. Coming into your kitchen, it's not too bad at all. Probably original cabinets. Let me see if I can get this one. There we go. Original cabinets. Your appliances do not match. So you can see in your ceiling, they painted that going in. There's your front door. Seems like they did get to this area probably and paint this blue and the white. Definitely not clean, but I can feel the cold air coming out of it. It's cool in there. Still got some extra dishes in there. And I'll back up. So there's your dining room area. Here is your, let me see if I can kind of back up a little bit. There we go. A little fisheye kind of lens, but showing you the side of the kitchen. Those counters. Your entryway, and I'll swing back through here real quick, and then I'm gonna take us outside real quick. So your back deck needs a lot of work. Looks like it hasn't had a preservative applied to it in a long time. So you're gonna have some rotted boards. Looks like a pretty big project. Not a bad deck, but it needs, your loan will call for it to have either a layer of like stain or preservative of some sort, paint, put on it prior to closing, because they don't like any exposed wood. Your backyard is not fenced in, as you can tell. So if you look down this way, see where their lot ends, that's where your lot is going to end as well. So it's below the retaining wall. There is a lot of it on the retaining wall. That retaining wall itself, I'll walk down there and give you guys a view of it real quick, because it's kind of fallen in. As you can see, there's a hole right here. Bunch of rotted wood right there. So that's also going to be called on in the appraisal. It'll be called on in the inspection. But keep in mind, the inspection is, whew, it's kind of sketchy. The inspection is, the pass or fail on that is up to you. Oh my gosh. Scary to come down those. They're just like wet. This one's given out, as you can tell. But the inspection, the pass or fail on that is up to you. Whereas the appraisal, if there are things that are called in the appraisal, that is a loan. It's considered at that point a loan or a lender requirement, and it has to be done prior to closing. So either the sellers do it, or they allow for you to do it, or we have to escrow funds for them to do it. It's not too bad going along this retaining wall. I'm going to kind of, not too bad, but you just have some spots coming out of it. And then you just have some kind of, oops, sorry, that's just a tree. Just some grass back here. You can tell none of it's really been maintained in a long time though. But that line, oops, right there would be your property boundary. No neighbors back here. I don't know if it ever will be developed in. I don't think so, because, I mean, this neighborhood was built in the 70s and 80s, mostly the 70s though, so you'd think that they would have established something in it already if they could. It might be a drainage easement as well for this neighborhood. Okay, going back inside, you can see this side, it hasn't been replaced, it just didn't get hit with siding. But same thing, this side didn't get hit with hail, excuse me. But same thing, no downspout extensions, anything like that. No gutters at all over the garage. I don't know. The one thing I don't know is where you must have to enter through the garage outside, because I don't believe there's anywhere. This is going to the basement, so we'll go check that out real quick. Again, dark in a lot of areas. Let me get this pulled out a little bit for you. So you come downstairs that are in the middle of 2 living rooms. I don't know how much you'll be able to see down here. I apologize. Let me see if I can get my camera to turn on. Or my light. It's not gonna work. Over here they do have a light that they wired in and ran down and plugged into the wall. Here's this area downstairs. Just not, really needs cleaned up. I mean, there's a cabinet door coming off of this. I did want to mention too, as I came in a different way this time, but there's a lot of settling in this house as well. You can feel it when you walk in.